Good morning, true crime friends. I have a piece of ice in my mouth. I'm having iced coffee today. Okay, so look. I've spent the last couple of days trying to get my arms around this Gilgo Beach murder case, right? And a bunch of people have asked me about it. And I was like, I can't find like a way to, I couldn't make it make sense in my head, right? And then I discovered it. Listen, but first of all, like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm getting so much better at saying that. I'm very pleased with myself. Okay, so look. This like fleshy white dude out on Long Island was killing a bunch of people, right? And so they finally caught him, which is very good. And I was like, but he seems creepy. And then I was like, I need to like sort of do a deep dive, but I needed somebody to just like smush all the information down into a compact package so I could really get my brain around it. And then I found it. Familial DNA. So look, if you've ever done an Ancestry, 23andMe, whatever, any of those kind of tests, when you have to register the test online first, right? And so you get the test and you're all excited. We got ours for Black Friday. So I bought like 5 of them so everybody in the house could take it. And I was like, okay, here we go. So we get the test and then we go online and register and you have to answer all of these questions. One of the questions that you have to answer is, can law enforcement use your DNA to find criminals? And I was like, yes. What if it turns out that my like third cousin twice removed is a killer and I can help find him? That sounds so exciting to me. Now, there's some people in my family who might not be excited that I checked that box for me and all of my relations. So shh, don't tell them. I know that some of my relatives watch this channel. Hey, relatives, and some of my friends too. But I'm just saying, don't commit any crimes, because if you commit a crime, you're going to get caught, especially if there's DNA. So anyway, so I fill out the Ancestry thing, and then you have this test, the Ancestry test, the 23, well, I don't know about 23andMe. All I know about is Ancestry. It's disgusting. Absolutely. Now, the results, fantastic. Love them. But the process of taking this test, listen, there are people who get queasy at the sight of blood. Blood does not bother me in the least. Do I want to interact with blood? No, but I'm a woman. So you interact with blood on some kind of basis, whether your kid skins a knee or whatever. Like, you're always, and like blood, no big deal. You know the one thing I cannot take, absolutely cannot tolerate? Spit. The most disgusting thing in the world to me is spit. I would rather do a fecal sample test than a spit test. That is just me. Spit is disgusting. And on this test, they're like, okay, so take this tube that's like a gallon-sized jar and fill it up with spit. So nasty. But because I'm nosy and I wanted to know my DNA, I did the test. So me and all of my relations, we did the test. Everybody lives in my house. We did it and we mailed it in, mostly because we wanted to see where we were from. Do we have any distant cousins? And let's be real. My papa was a teensy bit of a Rolling Stone. I fully expected to find a sibling that I had not previously known about. That's the main reason I did the test, if you want to know the truth. Yes, according to my mother, my father had a vasectomy at some point, but I was like, but he was out here just passing it out before then. Maybe there's a kid from when he was in high school. Maybe there was a kid during his first marriage or his second marriage or his third marriage, possibly his fourth marriage, maybe even his fifth marriage. I don't know. He got married a lot. Women liked him. He liked women. It was a match made in heaven. But I was like, he was just out here passing out the baby batter. So it might be some kids out here that I don't know about. What if I had a sister or a brother that I didn't know about? I mean, I have sisters and brothers that I know about, but there might be some I don't know about. And I want to meet them. Are they like me? Are they not like me? Are they tall? Do they get the tall genes? I got all the short genes in the family. I was fascinated. So what happened with this case of the murdery fleshy white guy out on Long Island is that he was out here unaliving people and wrapping them in burlap. Burlap is so itchy. Why would you choose burlap? But burlap is inexpensive, which, okay, that makes sense. And you can buy it by the yard at Joann Fabric. So I believe I have strictly made this up in my mind. Please trust and believe. This is not what the police said. This is what gossip, rumor, and innuendo has decided. That this creepy dude went to Joann Fabric and was like, which one of these fabrics is going to be the best? Also for a low price that won't rip right away. And muslin would have been a good choice, but muslin is thin. It is not itchy though. So he probably would have been better off with muslin, but it's cheap, but it's like stains, seep through and whatever. Burlap, not so much. you're going to have to wear some long gloves because otherwise the itch will be too much. But it doesn't rip easily. You have to cut it with the knife, whatever. So in my mind, he bought the big bolt, which is 8 rolls because 8 yards. 8 yards is on like a big bolt of fabric. So he got the big bolt of burlap, threw it in his trunk, and set out looking for folks to unalive. And apparently, he had a bunch of burner phones, and he only did crimes when his wife was out of the country. Where was she going? Was she on like tropical vacations without him? Probably, because I saw him, child. I would go on a vacation without him too. I do not blame you. Not one bit. Or maybe she was just on business. Maybe she was taking care of families in another country. I don't know. I don't know where she's from. Don't know that much about the lady. And bless her heart, I hope she is able to stay under the radar and far, far away from this madness. So he goes to Joann's. He gets everything he needs. I'm sure you could get rope there. You could get burlap, a nice glue gun. Maybe he put a bow on them. Was he into origami? He could have done that thing where you like twirl the paper around a little rod and then it comes out with like a little thing. He could have decorated them very nicely, tied them up like presents before he threw them in the bay or the beach or wherever he put them. So, puts burlap in the trunk. Well, because his wife lives in the house and he lives with the wife, some of the hair from the wife gets on the burlap because the bad thing about burlap is everything sticks to it. So, he uses his burner phone, finds a sex worker, does whatever he does with her, then unalives her, then wraps her up in the burlap with his wife's hair and with his hair, and then puts a bow on it. I imagine he put a bow on it because manners, and throws her away on the beach. Horrific crime. Now, I heard this morning that in addition to finding all of these women who were mostly sex workers, I believe, on the beach, they also found a toddler and a man. Dude, what were you into? What in the world? Or were those collateral damage? Is there a second serial killer on Long Island? I think there's probably like dozens of serial killers on Long Island. You ain't heard that from me though. But in my opinion, so he throws them away and then he just like goes on his merry way for years and years and years. And somebody was saying like, oh, they haven't found a body since like 2011. Do you think he stopped? And sometimes these serial killers do stop. This dude, he had not stopped. He got messy. Just this past July 3rd, he was like stalking around a park and creeping up on women and scaring them, but not sex workers, just like regular people. I mean, not that sex workers aren't regular people, but a lady who was not engaged. Like she just was riding her bike trying to get exercise. Exercise is deadly now. I guess it is if you live on Long Island, but this dude was so creepy. She filed a police report. And so she was like, I do not know what is going on with this dude. So when he got arrested the other day, she was like, oh my God, that is the creeper from the park. Ciao. And also there's a video out of this dude. Now he was an architect, right? And so he was a successful architect who worked in the city, but he lived out on Long Island. Was it beachfront property? The property values for his neighbors have just gone way down, or maybe way up. If like true crime fans want to buy the house, me personally, no thank you. I would not be buying that house. But one of the things they're saying was, number one, it was a block full of beautiful houses. His house was apparently a mess. Isn't that always the way? He's an architect, but his house is practically fallen down. Ridiculous. Oh, I would have been mad. I would have probably called the police and said, I think he's a serial killer, just because on the strength of you not keeping your grass up, your house is looking a mess. That's just like a nice way to chase him off the block. But apparently that was his childhood home. He bought the house from his parents. So let me get this straight. Your mom and daddy moved away. Oh, I hope they're dead. Not because he like unalived them or anything like that, but like the shame. So he bought his childhood home from his parents and he lived there and didn't fix it up. And his wife was cool with that. That's probably why she was out of the country all the time. She was like, ugh, these floors. He's over here making gorgeous houses for everybody else. You know what they say? The shoemaker's clothes, the shoemaker's kids have no shoes. Like, I would have been super mad. And he's like, babe, I'm working on my to-do list. That's why I have the roll of burlap in the trunk. And she's like, what you gonna do with burlap? And he was like, just wait and see. And she kept waiting and he didn't do anything. Oh, I hope she divorces him. Is she gonna stay? Is she one of these women who's gonna stand by her man? First of all, today, if it was me, like a couple of days after something crazy like this happened, I would be so devastated. So devastated. And his children, his family, his second cousin, his aunties and them. Everybody is changing their last name. Nobody wants anything to do with him. I hope his children and his family don't get painted with the crazy brush like he's painted with the crazy brush. But he been doing this mess for years. And there's only part of his activities that we know about. This is a very bad situation for the family, but also a worse situation for the families of the women that he unalived. So it's bad all around. The moral of the story is really, you should not be out here, number one, buying rolls of burlap because it's itchy, but number two, don't kill people. It's bad manners. It's bad form. People look at you crazy. And now they're going through his whole entire life. Everything they pulling his like 3rd grade yearbook. They talking to his teacher, the principal, the people that he worked with. What about his coworker? Every coworker around writing a book now. They're like, oh, I sat next to him on the Long Island Railroad. Hello, HarperCollins. I need a book deal. This is no good for him. It's going to be lucrative for people who are around him. And then they had this, a video of him from years ago, whatever, talking about his business. And he's like, my most useful tool, a hammer, sir. Calm down. He was like, a hammer, I use it on every single job. Sir, what jobs are you talking about? How were these ladies unalived? Were they bludgeoned? Are you telling on yourself? Now, every video that I see, particularly of like a dude in a polo shirt, I'm going to be like, what did you do? Those dudes well, first of all, they don't wear polo shirts in my office, so I don't have to worry about it. But if they do, anybody in a polo shirt is now all of a sudden suspicious to me. Look, people make sweeping generalizations all the time. If one brown person snatches a purse, they're like, you see them brown people snatch your purses. Now, every time I see a fleshy white dude in a polo shirt, murderer. See also Alex Murdaugh. Wasn't he a fleshy dude in polo shirts, looking like unassuming, like he's about to play golf? Every time I walk past a golf course, I'm gonna be like, look at all those murderers with all those weapons right there to bludgeon people. Stay away from golf courses. This dude. Also, what inspires you? I don't understand. And did he start committing these crimes in his 40s? Because if you do the math and count backwards, according to what they found, it looks like he started doing this in his 40s. Unlikely, in my opinion. I'm going to need to hear from his 3rd grade teacher and his childhood friends and the people who lived on the block. His kids, y'all, I think y'all should move to Maine, to work on getting rid of your accent, because if you're from Long Island, I know 100% you had that accent, which is fine. You're going to have to take allocution classes. Don't go to Florida, because that's where everybody from up here goes, and that's where everybody going to be looking for you. Go to Maine. It's cold. Nobody wants to go up there. It's just some lighthouses and some lobster salad. That's fine. You can learn how to make a nice lobster roll, work on losing that accent, and hide out. I hope he has daughters, because then you could just get married and change your name. People don't even have to know what your maiden name was. This whole family is about to be all over the news, which is terrible for them, but fantastic for me, because I will be watching it breathlessly. Everything that comes out, I'm going to be like, and then what happened, and then what happened, and then what happened. But alas, I need to take my behind to the gym. I also have other cases to research. The Melly case is back today. I suspect that the prosecution is going to rest today. And then the defense is going to come on. Defense, what y'all going to say? Yes, he did it, but we have a really good reason why. They haven't proven it was him. They have proven it was him. In my opinion, I'm not on the jury. I'm just saying they have proven that Melly did the crimes, and that, I definitely don't think he's going to get the death penalty. I definitely don't think he did this for gang reasons. I think he did it for evil reasons. I think he's just like a sack of nothing. So that happens when you a sack of nothing. You unalive your friends sometimes in brutal and vicious ways. Did they prove he did it? His tiny little behind is going to go to jail forever. This is what I learned over the weekend, though, about jail. You know, it's not my thing to learn a whole bunch about jail, because I don't want to know too much about it. But if you have like a weave or whatever, when you go to like the local prison, what do they call it? County jail, you have to take some of that out. Like if you have like fake gold teeth, they make you take your fake gold teeth out. But Melly's diamonds on his teeth are permanent, so he can leave them in. If he gets convicted, they're going to make him take them out. How you take them out if it's permanent? Do you have to like just get a chisel? Will they let a dentist do it? Will he have to do it on his own? will they just like hold him down and take him off in the jail? I want to see that. Not that like, because I think it's going to be torture. I suspect it's going to be torture. Are those real diamonds? Everything about that looks nasty to me. Like, it's interesting in pictures, but like, how do you get it on? How do you take it off? Ew, in general. How do you keep plaque from getting in there? Is it sealed? Dentists, hit me up down in the comments and let me know what the story is. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to Google and then there will be more saliva. Oh, I can't take it. Okay, listen. I need to get on with the rest of my day. I have things to do. I hope you have a fantastic day. We have lunchtime true crime. That's coming today. It's going to drop at 12 o'clock. And you know how I remembered that it's lunchtime true crime and not true crime lunchtime? The food goes first. This is like the mental trick I play in my head. The food goes first. Because in my mind, the food always goes first. So lunchtime true crime today, 12 o'clock noon. I will see you there. You make it a good one. Bye.